going on, you guys? It's Makai McCain from High Apparel. Happy New Year! Happy 2019. I hope you guys really enjoyed yourself on your nights. I hope you guys were safe. I know some of y'all might have got your groove on, something like that. But I'm just so blessed to be in this year of 2019. So anyway, let's get right to it. So now as I'm getting into 2019, I'm starting to understand like my biggest problem is procrastinating and really being hesitant with so much things. I don't understand myself, like, why am I like this? So basically, like two months ago, I'm at the mall with my friends, and now this mall, so I got two Zara jeans. I might feel like I'm Mr. Big Baller, right? And for some reason, as we're walking, we come across this girl, and she look good. Let's say that, okay? But anyways, so. Like with my group of friends, we always tend to be like, okay, who's going to attack first? Who's going to go first, right? So as one of my friends was about to go, I'm usually the type of friend that always goes for the advice or what should they say to that girl, because that's my strong suit, right? I got a nice little strong spit game, let's say that, right? So as I was about to tell them what was going on, they said, you know what, let Makai do it. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, please not me, no, right? And they was like, you know what? Yeah, let Kai do it. So I'm like, I'm good. So we pass on. So as time unfolds, for some odd reason, we see this girl again. And I don't know what's going on. So I see her, but for some reason, there's something about a woman that they give you like this specific look. I don't know what it is, but it's like, you better come here and ask for my number. Like, it's one of them, I don't know what it is. Ladies, let me know in the description. I don't know what it is. So that as that happens, my friends up there jazzing like, oh, you gotta go. So now I'm getting so nervous, I'm hesitating, my palms sweating. I'm like, I might just have to go talk to her. So long story short, I go over there, spit my nice little game, and then I get the number. Right? So all my friends like, oh yeah, I see you. And I feel like the man, right? And now as I'm starting to understand this is that if I would have never shot my shot, I would have never known what I'm fully capable of. And now as I'm speaking into a faith perspective, that we become so hesitant with things, especially with God, which is why I'm really coming up with this series of shooting our arrow. And what I mean by that is, usually when we become hesitant, we have the gifts, we have the passion, we have the drive, and everything we need. But we just never let it go, right? We never let it go. That instead we just hold it inside and we won't just give it to God. And the great thing about this is that we aren't the first to struggle with this problem. As a matter of fact, in Matthew chapter 21, Jesus is coming to Jerusalem, right? And there's just so much going on that, oh my goodness, Jesus coming to our town. It was like kind of like Barack Obama and Michelle Obama coming back to DC once again, right? And that, as Jesus is coming to this town, lives are being healed and people are being changed. And as a matter of fact, the day after, God wakes up very hungry, right? So as he's searching for food, he comes along this fig tree where there is no fruit on the tree. And for some odd reason, Jesus just tells the tree, he says, may you bear no more fruit. And as soon as he said that, the fig tree withered up. And now, when I think about this, is that as God was being hungry, he had the expectation that the fig tree would have fruit. But instead, he disregarded it because what he thought was there was non-existent. And when we tap that into our lives, that we become so hesitant of things based on the expectation, we lose sight of the obligation, right? That I may want to open this business up, but I'm too scared to make that first step, right? And now, as we're going even deeper into that chapter, people are wondering, like, how in the world did Jesus just make that fig tree just wither like that, right? And in Matthew chapter 1, verse 22, this is what Jesus says. I tell you the truth, if you have faith and don't doubt, you can do things like this and much more. You can even say to this mountain, may you be lifted up and thrown into the sea, and it will happen. You can pray for anything, and if you have faith, you will receive it. So when we tap into shooting our arrow, the very first thing that we need to do is just to ask God. Bring him into the equation, right? That we may be so locked in with things of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen, or I don't know how I'm going to start it, I don't know how I'm going to stop it, that we lose sight of how capable God is, right? And for me, even being a teenager now, is that, I want to be so independent about things that I don't want to ask my parents for nothing, that if I don't have it, I don't have it, right? And that now, as I'm starting, like, when you get desperate for things, that's when you like, all right, you know what? I may as well just ask my parents. If they don't do it, they don't do it, right? So, but when you finally ask, and they're like, sure, yeah, I'll do it. It's like, whew, right? It's like a big stone that just come right off your back, right? And that's the same way with God. That all you have to do is just ask him. Just say, God, can you please do something about this? And the great thing about God is that he wants this. Like, I bet you every time we are so hesitant with a decision, a crucial decision, I bet he's just sitting there like, all he got to do is ask. Just put me in the equation, I'm ready, right? And for some reason, I picture in my mind that God is like, it's like a lion, right? He's like a lion that's looking for his prey, that when we are in these situations, he's just studying. He like, all he got to do. And as soon as he say, God, he's pouncing that quick. As a matter of fact, I remember one day I was on social media one day, and I seen this post that it like really stood out to me, that it said that God has 3 answers to our prayers. That he may say yes, that we may get it right away, or meaning he may say not yet, meaning we may be in a situation right now, but we will not be in a situation for long, that we will have it. Just stay faithful to him, right? And the third one is, well, I have something better in mind. And when I think about that, it's like, wow, we are like so hesitant about these things that we're thinking so level-headed, right? That, you know what, if we just put God in a situation, he like, is that all that you want? Really? I got something better. I got something higher. I could go higher, right? And that's the greatest thing about God, that we may get it. We may not get it right away, but we will eventually get it. Or we may have something even bigger than we thought we would have, right? So now that we know that all we have to do is ask God, I really want to challenge you that when you are really in this position of you're about to hesitate, or you about to just be like, I don't know, when you are just in that stage, I just want you to just ask God. Just ask God, nothing too big, just ask him. And just see the results. So now, as I'm thinking about this now in a worldwide perspective, can you like imagine how powerful the world would be if we just have God enter our lives when we are hesitant? Like, businesses will be born, job positions will increase, like all these things will just be life-changing for everyone, right? And as I'm starting to think about the job business and understanding relationships, people always tend to say it's not about what you know, it's who you know, right? And as I'm thinking about that is, what greater person to know than God, than to go to and just ask, right? So thank you guys so much. I'm really appreciative for you guys' support. If you really want to buy a shirt or a hoodie still, the website is still open. Please go on to www.mekhigh.com. I'm going to say it again. www.mekhigh.com. Thank you guys. Love you.